let us use Companion to change the DNS on the website. Let's see how easy it can be, especially if you don't like doing that sort of thing. Hello everyone, we're going to use Companion, which is a free app, to change the DNS on our website. This is the website in question. And the DNS is hosted on Infomaniac. So let's go. We have an email here from Biff. Oh, never mind. We have an email here from Biff. Concerning the DNS change. So let's go ahead and just tell Companion to check it out. Hello, Claude. We're using Claude. If you want to change the AI model that you're using in Companion, you can just come into the list here and select whatever you like, or add a custom model. And Companion is completely free. You only pay via the API key, which is stored here, that you obtain on OpenRouter or Entropic's website directly. So it doesn't cost you anything other than the tokens to use Companion. You can also just speak to it. An email from this address. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly. About the changes that we need to do on our DNS servers for the Black Code website. The DNS is controlled from the Infomaniac account. You can log in to the Infomaniac account via Playwright. Please go ahead and read the email and then make the changes. If there's any login trouble, I will assist. So there you go. From here, all I need to do basically is probably be patient, because the AI is a little bit slow compared to a human, and also help the AI log in if there's any issues with that at various points, passwords, two-step verification. But apart from that, Companion is going to be able to handle the task. There you go. That is Infomaniac opening. Managed to log in. Now see here, it made a mistake, or oh, maybe it didn't. No, actually it didn't. I was logged into the wrong, or not the wrong, but I was logged into a client account because I manage it, which is a subtlety that most AIs would not catch, and Claude caught it and changed that from memories. We had the case in the past, and apparently it remembered it and correctly corrected the issue. It now has found the, it found the DNS panel. Well, it found the accounts panel, and now it's going to go ahead and modify the DNS, which, if you're new to all this, can be kind of difficult and take a lot of time and energy. Now, obviously, if you're an expert, you can do this faster than the AI, but that's only going to be true for a little while longer. And if you're not an expert, you can get this done without having any knowledge of how it works, which allows you to create a business, put it online, and not have to hire someone and spend a lot of money and time getting it done. As you can see, the AI is navigating by itself. There's a phone mode for Companion, what I call the phone mode, where you can resize the window to look like a phone screen. Find it quite useful. Let's explore the buttons at the top while we're waiting. The dark mode. The export conversation mode is a real lifesaver if you break a conversation, which happens a lot with agents. The schema of the tools is forever changing. With even the best support in the world, we cannot prevent Companion from regularly breaking because the schema of the tools breaks. But there's also a lot of possibilities for recovery through a different route when our backend somehow cannot handle what's happening. And that's where the export conversation button comes in handy. At least until we implement memories, at which point you'll simply be able to ask Companion to recall what you were working on. And that's coming in 1 or 2 weeks. The pin button allows you to keep Companion on top of any other window, no matter what. Unless it minimizes. Yeah. Those are the new buttons we've implemented in the course of our UI improvements. So the AI is struggling with various settings. I don't even know exactly what the DKIM does. I vaguely recall that it has to do with authentication. Let me just switch that to like 5 minutes, since the AI did not. This kind of work is tedious, and actually I don't know why the AI didn't use the advanced view, because you could have written the document in one go, but I guess the error messages are helpful. The AI doesn't like intelligence, but it does lack specific knowledge of how to use this particular UI, so it has to fail in order to learn, and that is an unavoidable process. So now we're adding the DMARC. I think the DMARC has to do with emails. And now I guess it's adding the TXT record. TXT records are just text, so they're used to live a message to a server so that it can identify you. All of this is basically just identification, as far as I know. So I'm sure some expert will correct me. The point is that it is not a fascinating field of study for most people, but you still need to be able to do it, and ideally to be able to do something else at the same time. Now here I'm making a video, so obviously I'm focusing the screen on this, but usually if I was doing this, as you can see, Companion is pretty much automated, so I could be working on something meaningful while this is happening. And that's the promise of Companion, is to save you time. Not money, admittedly, using the API key. There was the whole controversy with OpenClaw, which is sort of the same thing as Companion, but a little different, more personal. This is more for business. Used authentication from Claude AI to not pay the tokens to be on the plan. And then they blocked them. We always used the API key. We never even attempted to use the authentication in the plan because we understood the problem of being blocked by Anthropic down the line. So we are able to, we have solved a number of problems like being rate limited or spending too much money. A typical conversation with those agents, if you don't manage your tokens well, if you don't have a janitorial cleanup crew of AIs behind the scenes, will set you back $100 for just a simple task. We've been able to reduce that by 95% and still work on the API. All right, the DNS record now shows 11 records, was 7 before. The DNS propagation is typically a few hours. There you go. Thank you for your attention.
Companion by AIOS.